Hello, Mr. Fischer. Can you hear me?
Can you see me?
Yes, now we can see you.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Fischer, and I'm very sorry for the delay. We had to change the room because of a technical problem.
Oh, I see myself.
Yes. I already adjusted the laptop to the video screen. I will give you a quick look around. We have the different developer teams lined up here.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
They've done a lot of hard work, especially yesterday, but also this morning, finishing up the presentation for you.
You get all enthusiastic about it because you're just, okay, let's get this done, and oh my gosh, it has to be done.
And I will soon switch over the beamer to another computer. So if you can see yourself, that's quite good.
Nervous and experience, like definitely, like first time ever been in that sort of situation. I thought it was really, really good.
Okay, hello Mr. Fischer. Our idea is to present you the game that we've made a quick video to show you every phase of our game.
We are kind of very stressed right now, and because we were 4 teams that worked on the whole thing.
We add the sounds and have a player, so you can see what he will have done in the game. What's the task of the game in every phase.
I definitely think they got a really good impression of what it's like to be an entrepreneur.
So we will show you the video as a speak. So we would like to present our game to you.
They started thinking about it. They started getting into this process and taking on the roles. So that's why I think they took the right things with them.
The aim of the SURF is to develop an experience-based and game-based approach to foster students' entrepreneurial mindsets.
We're taking you through a real product development process. So we will end up with a product.
And then the other level is your skills and mindsets. Hopefully, and this is our aim, will change over the next 3 days. Especially your skills in getting to know different components, different skills in what is needed for game design and how to structure a product design development process. And especially also your reflection and maybe your development or your changes in how you perceive yourself within this process.
I mean, let's face it, the task we're giving them, building a game, with that little experience is something that simply cannot be done, you know. We really push them to their limits.
Estonia's capital is the setting of the climax of Ideas into Action. The project, which is funded by the European Union, has been prepared in 3 sessions from 2013 on. Coordinated by Ingenious Knowledge, the project consortium consists of the University of Cologne, Tallinna Majanduskool, Mentas Collin I Kopafogi, Associata Coitetem, International Business College Hetzendorf, and the University of West of Scotland. The aim? To foster entrepreneurial minds through a game-based learning approach. In Tallinn, this immersive approach was tested for the first time together with students from 5 European countries. Their task for the 3 upcoming days? Being an entrepreneur by inventing, developing and selling a video game according to the needs of a fictional customer. First phase, ideation and evaluation of personal settings.
Ideation is more about a real active process on how to become creative, how to develop new ideas, how to develop new solutions. We have quite a heterogeneous group, like pupils from secondary schools, vocational schools, but also students.
The learners are accompanied by their teachers and tutors who have developed the new approach during the last 2 years.
The purpose is twofold. We would like to find out from the beginning, does something change in these people? because after all, we are developing, an approach that we want to implement in school, and we need to make sure it works somehow.
I've never thought of
We are actually delving into the setting of an enterprise. So we will basically do some role-playing. We pretend to be part of an enterprise that creates games. And we will introduce a few things in this setting that might seem very realistic, but I can tell you they're all played out,
It's quite an innovative way. For me, it was actually really interesting to see how they would react to an approach that fused both the creative design approach with the business planning and business modeling methods.
Welcome everyone to the company called Ideas into Action. We have a long record of delivering great entertainment games to the market. And we would like to continue our great record.
Right here, I'm really curious, how does it work with students from other schools, from other countries? So it's a great challenge. It's a very short time. They haven't worked in exactly these areas that they're working in right now, and to see how fast can we bring them to a state where they can start to produce and work on this game.
We have a client in Germany, actually, Chamber of Commerce. And they want us to create a game that actually introduces some kind of entrepreneurial thinking, entrepreneurial way of playing through the game. A role-playing approach like this, which is an immersive approach, it really throws them into the setting like this, has a lot of potential, and if done right, you can really motivate the learners. They really want to fill these roles that they are taking on, and usually this leads to really great results.
Brainstorming and collecting ideas kicks off any entrepreneurial activity.
You start in different teams, and you get cards where you have an item on it.
You work at a pizzeria with animatronics, and you're the night shift.
Like The Wolf Among Us or The Walking Dead, like they're in kind of, and I think there's also Borderlands and recently Game of Thrones that made one.
It was good that it's a fictional world and that you could do something that you are not able to do in the reality, to build a house and a family.
The inspiration phase is very important to give people the freedom to discover what's in their head.
I thought that only opening a shop is sort of already gotten boring with that, making it a bit more complex and saying that we create a new planet.
So I was thinking of, for example, night vision glasses. Glasses that never get dirty or that are self-cleaning. And glasses that could change your eye color.
I think we can make magic cars. And,
magic cars?
Cars.
Okay. What makes the cars magic?
He can fly.
Okay.
He can fly.
So they have abilities that normal cars don't have.
Yes.
The problem is, if we want to give them something now, we need to focus on something.
Who would like to have the clothes? 1, 2. Who would like to have the glasses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who would like to have the magic cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. Okay, so can you live with settling for the cars? I think there will be lots of interesting stuff in there, and also you can, if you like this idea of design and making things look nice, that's also something that you can do with cars.
So I need 2 volunteers to talk to Mr. Fischer in a moment. Can you step over there?
An essential part of game-based learning is the implementation of realistic events. Here, the learners have to present their first concept to a representative of the Chamber of Commerce in Cologne. Despite the fact that Mr. Fischer is just a project assistant, the impact on the students is more than obvious.
Hello, Mr. Fisher. My name is Joshua. Basically, the concept for the game is we're going to be developing a game. It's like a business where you're going to be buying like used, rusty, old like cars, and customizing them, like with say like magic use. So like take for example, you're going to have like a really rusty old car that you're going to buy. Like we're going to buy that in, it'll go into the workshop and it'll come out with like magic powers. It can fly, like custom. It looks brand new.
Is there a goal I want to reach in the game?
We don't have a predetermined endpoint as of yet. That is something that we've still got to discuss and then implement in.
I need something to show to my boss. You can send me a video
Okay.
and present what's actually the final goal, or what's the
Yes.
what should it
Yeah.
look like. That's
Yeah.
how it's working.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so first of all,
I tried to get into that role, and I actually felt like being in that part. So I was a bit nervous, and I thought, how do we fulfill his expectations? That was my thought. So
they suddenly knew, okay, we have to do our best, because now someone from the outside will look at it and he might not be as nice as our instructors, who basically like everything we do.
While the learners continue to experience becoming an entrepreneur, the teachers have already begun work on the handbook. The book will summarize the whole project and shall be used as a guide and promotion kit for future projects concerning game-based learning.
Are examples of the material, the tutorial material we developed for the students.
The learners are preparing more comprehensive video presentations of the game.
Yeah.
right, that's true.
One, take.
Okay, so this is our model. When you look at this area, this is how it's going to look like when you open the app, in production, shop, stock, and the office of the boss. Once the card is finished, it will go straight into stock, and we made some models for this. They would then be here in stock. For a certain amount of points, you open up the levels, and then...
So, who would also be, like, as a second priority, be interested in game design?
Since the production process of a video game is usually very extensive, the learners will now be divided into subgroups, like programming, game design, sound design, and graphic design.
The graphic design tutorial that Rasmus has handed you out will guide us through this process, and there's the expertise of a really professional graphic designer stored in this.
An introduction sound, what was that for the menu?
That would be for the menu.
Yeah. So
That's just when
That's
the
background
game
music.
starts
It's
up.
background.
Yeah.
That's your background music, really.
I mean, the main goal is to press the button.
and just tell us one of the main goals.
Yeah, to sell it.
So that they will actually be able to complete the track.
The first half of the second day is reserved for learning the tools and principles of game production.
A bar where we see our current budget, time, current budget.
The dashboard is a nice idea, but statistic bars.
So to make the basic thing work, start with one car and just tell that more cars can be introduced. But define the characteristics of one car.
I have money to pay a mechanic. You know what you want to add in.
So you need a basic
You have to
set.
space.
Yeah.
So you certainly go from here. You can enter a negative 30 or negative 45. Good, we're making good progress.
Yeah, I expect it's a bit more complicated, but the way they're doing it and explaining it step by step and really trying to include everyone, I like that a lot.
What we will do is we will create a gallery outside in the hallway. So it's a good idea for you to start defining the screens, saying, okay, screen number 1 has this layout, has this functionality, and has these statistics. When the other groups create materials, like the graphics team creates something, they just put that there with it, so that everyone can see, okay, we have this screen, it looks like this. The sound, we put a list of, okay, we have these sounds, Like right now we have finished the learning phase, which means they are now able to produce something. They know the tools, and this is a great phase because now they can actually start building something. And as you can see here, we are like 5 minutes into lunch break, but everyone is still here trying to get these things done.
And then, after our race, the community can send message and say, "Oh, it's such a great car." Or
As the production process starts, it becomes vitally important to communicate between the groups to get a coherent product in the end.
Before we do the sound, we were wondering what type of graphics you would be wanting or be creating.
They see the need that they have to talk to each other more often, and that they then just go up to the other room and ask them and come back and tell the others. So I think the networking within the subgroup and between the subgroups, that really surprised me today.
And everything was shot.
Yeah, I tried to track something on the...
I don't know yet what it is, we still don't know, so we have to...
I had the feeling they were engaged from the beginning on, and that we somehow got them with our scenario, and that they could easily access the scenario and like took it over. And I was very much surprised about how easily they somehow formed a group by themselves, and we did very little effort to make them work as a group.
Maybe even more than we expected, because we didn't realize that the youngsters, the students, the learners, are so enthusiastic in their job. Probably such an experience could change our optical about how to work with young people.
That's why I don't like other people like importing other people's stuff, because you're like, how do you do that like that?
It's the first time I've done it, and it's a really interactive approach. It's getting everybody involved in this company, and it's a really good way, I feel, because it's like it makes everyone feel that the role that they are participating in is an important one, and it's like people that might not look like they've got confidence, they have this role, and they're gaining confidence from that role, and from that everybody's like developing with each other, and we're helping each other to build a really nice product. So I really like the method that we're using right now. So.
They are like really starting to build a great team. They have fun in learning and in doing these tasks because it's learning another way, you know. We are not teaching them. We are not saying, okay, there's this knowledge that I need to transmit, and here I will explain it to you, and they are sitting there receptive, but they are producing. And they are learning through the challenges that we set for them. And they are actually the directors and owners of their learning process. And I think that's a lot of fun to them. Even if they're not really so much into the scenario, it's still a very interesting task.
And the tires does have this
hissing sound.
hissing sound.
Or
Like
if you put
Yeah,
pressure into the tire. And the
And it's also free. We don't have like copyright issues.
Yeah, like it's good. No, that's good. You can also
We try to find like good songs and stuff, and it was like very interesting and challenging also, because we had like issue with the copyright stuff, and we still have, but we hope that everything is going to be okay.
So tomorrow we'll have a little more time to work on it and polish, you know, the current status that we have, and then we will need to present it again. So we need to make it presentable somehow. That means we need to focus a little on things that can actually be accomplished. They definitely got tired, and we wanted them to. They reached their limits. You know, that's the important thing of this phase. It's also a feeling that you can easily get when you're active as an entrepreneur, you know, being overwhelmed by everything. And the important thing is an entrepreneur knows how to power through this. It's great that we didn't lose them at that point, because that's the danger. Of course, you know, you could just get someone who says, I'm so frustrated, I quit. But that didn't happen because the team was still there. There was still team spirit. There was still a functioning team that kind of supported each other. Were they actually disappointed themselves. I think at the end of the second day they were. A lot of them were. When you just have ideas and these great concepts in your head, you don't see your limits. You know, it's also a danger. It's also a danger in entrepreneurship. You know, you have these great ideas. You say, "Hey, you know, we'll make millions with this. This is such a great idea, and everybody will want it." And then at some point, you know, reality hits you, and that's exactly what happened to them on day 2, on our first production day. At the end of the day, they were exhausted, and they kind of got the feeling, "We'll never get this done." We definitely need to get something done in that hour to make whatever we have so far presentable. Why does this game really fulfill the requirements that the Chamber of Commerce had? Okay, try to address these points.
I'm really curious to see the way how they sell it. Do they really believe in it? Do they really sell it in a good way? Are they able to demonstrate a clear idea of the benefit of the game and a clear orientation towards the client's interest?
No, the first one.
The final challenge is to use the last hour before the presentation to combine all the results and components of each subgroup to create a video game which suits the needs of the customer.
Stressful though, this morning, programming the final phases, like, even though there wasn't much there, like there certainly was a lot of time that went into it, and like we're all really proud of what we've done. So even though like we know like more can be done, but I'd love to work on it again. But I'm proud of what I've done here so far.
So like you buy a car and then the car is up in the air.
Now this morning we had 1 hour to go, you know, and in this 1 hour we did so much more than during the entire day yesterday in this programming part, that it was really amazing to them. And they started to work together as a team. They really started focusing on the job ahead as a team.
One essential part of the presentation is the gameplay experience, which will be demonstrated in a video.
Okay, let's see. Okay, minimum price. I want to sell my car.
Yeah, we never forget the last 2 or 3 hours when we built up all these pictures, because we all have so much ideas in mind, and yesterday we thought, oh, that's such rough work, so much things to do, but at the moment, oh yeah, that idea, with that idea, we could consider this, and it's really, it makes fun.
Yeah, if you click that, then the new menu.
And this one, this opens.
Yeah, I think we're
Okay.
You have to communicate a lot and to discuss and agree on one idea, and then maybe one person thinks he or she has the best idea and another one thinks the same. So this process of discussing and agreeing on one idea was challenging, but also very good.
There's a warning alert coming up.
Very good.
They knew they would not be able to present a working game, so they were quite creative in trying to get the experience across using their drawings.
What do you think? How long should it be, the sound for?
I think it's enough.
Yeah. What's the text we put in there?
It would just be color, wheels, and
color,
engine.
wheels, engine, and the lock.
And the lock.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, let me see again.
Selling is like there's not.
First conclusions about the new game-based learning approach.
Our first idea is like different planets and so much stuff in there, and this is like just like such a basic version of it that, wow, I'm kind of disappointed on what we achieved, but still I'm also a bit proud because we had no idea. I mean,
the first way in encouraging them to engage with the method, it also encouraged them to work as a team with people that they previously had never met before. And additionally, if you look at the way that the responses have been and the feedback and how the reflective part has been, you'll probably be able to understand that it's been quite productive and a lot of added value to each of the participants.
So we will show you the video as a speech. We would like to present our game to you, and for that we have decided that one player of our target group will play the whole game to present it to you. So let's start. In the first place we have to purchase, where the player has to choose his card.
Okay, let's see. I see that I do have 3 models, but they look blocked. So I choose. Let's see. What is that? I do have different features that I can choose. Let's start with the colors. I really like pink. Let's add another feature, maybe the engine. Okay. Oh, there's a warning alert coming up, and the race starts in 30 seconds. Okay, the game starts. Come on. So I think I'm going to try to sell the car and choose the auction actually. Yay! I sold my car.
So that went very well for the player. Well, let's see how this goes in the next round then.
That was the draft on paper, and now we're going to show you how the actual development looks so far of the final product.
Our main screen here, we have different options for buying, selling and racing. Features you can add to your car, so there's color options, wheels. If you click on the buy button, then you have the different options of cars that are available right now. So we're at the very beginning, so only the very
rusty
old
car.
rusty cars available. If you click on the okay, and the engine start comes up. There's the race part as well, which is just a
For now, it's just a background, but yeah.
Looks pretty nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I couldn't understand all the details from the first video because, especially, I couldn't read it. I saw the pictures and some of the things that you said and then simulated your music. I couldn't really understand, but I got an idea about how it should work. But the next step for us or for you important is now the financing. So we as the Chamber of Commerce just can offer startup financing. So you have to find some other sources of funding. I talked to my boss and he said my budget is about 2,000 euros. But I have to talk to him back, so he wants my opinion if you're good in progress or if we should follow your idea. But I think it's a good idea. But I have to talk to him again. That's for me. Do you have any other questions?
So far, I don't think so. Bye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Fischer. Thank you for taking the time, and sorry again for the delay.
Mr. Fischer did a great job. I think he was really realistic. So great, Mr. Fischer.
Yeah, we believed it that we're gonna handle a product to the Chamber of Commerce and maybe get some feedback from them.
I'm pretty impressed about how far they reached within 1 day, because actually we did 1 day production phase only.
You should really give yourself a big round of applause for getting to this point of being able to present something where you can really get an idea what will the product look like.
And I think we have really grown as a team in this little time. So thank you all for that.
Even more spectacular will be your business plan, because right now it is really about thinking about how would we move this forward to create a product. It's now imaginary in your head.
The learners receive a business model canvas, which helps to structure a business plan. The teachers actively help the learners in this last phase.
Shall we just add our ideas in this page?
I think it's better to use the post-it because then you can write everything down, and then if you like to skip it, you do that.
And you have an overall idea, and you can talk about it, and you all know what everybody else thinks about the idea. And what is good with the post-it, you can always change.
You need to be able to understand what it is that you are selling to your primary target customer. You need to understand who your customers are.
The idea behind it was to get them thinking in this direction. The business plan at this point is a very, very short introduction in structured business thinking, which gives them, basically the first idea of how you need to think to organize your thoughts in this area.
After finishing the business plan, the learning game comes to an end. For many of the learners, it comes with a few surprises.
You took on roles that you don't have in your everyday life. We acted in roles as well. And also, like the last aspect where we kind of differentiated a reality a little bit or tweaked reality a little bit was Mr. Fischer. Mr. Fischer actually is a research assistant who works at our department. And I think he did quite a good job in taking on the role of the Chamber of Commerce. I want to be very honest with you and not get you leaving out of this room with having the impression there's Mr. Fischer, somebody in Germany. I see your faces, there are some kind of people who really believed in it very strongly. That's good, that's great. You did your very best, you invested a lot, you took a lot of energy, you really worked very hard, you did a really great job. See you then again after lunch as learners and teachers.
Jetzt ergibt das alles Sinn, weil die ganze Zeit gedacht, das ergibt irgendwo keinen Sinn, weil einerseits geht es ja wirklich darum, dass wir auf die etwas lernen, aber andererseits gibt es ja doch irgendeinen Auftrag und dann war ich mir nicht, weiß nicht, seit in meinem Kopf irgendwie nicht ganz hintergehe und ich habe auch nie daran gedacht, dass der nicht echt sein kann. Ja, außerdem hat es für mich einfach zu einem Ziel geführt. Dadurch war so klar, wir müssen das da dem präsentieren und er hat es irgendwie angehört. Ja, weiß nicht.
Und das ist ja auch eine wichtige Kompetenz.
It was a good surprise, I think, because if you the feedback wasn't too good that he gave us, so he didn't seem too excited about it, and I think that was like on purpose. And finding out that it was faking just to test us sort of and make us act like efficiently and get done more quickly and stuff, it was cool. I think it's a good technique to get us, make us work somehow.
I really think that was real, and I was so excited about it. And today, when I found it was not, I was like, what? It was all a lie? That was not a funny joke. I mean, it was a pressure on us, and it kind of been real. I mean, we really believed it. But it was very good because we were motivated. Yeah.
Of course, it's not a good thing if they leave with a bad feeling, but maybe we need to get them to understand that really believing in this scenario was a big bonus for them because it made them do things that they ordinarily might not have been able to do.
You see a little bit the timeline of the last 2 days here, and I would like to invite you position yourself at or towards a phase where you felt yourself the most challenged. Have a huge crowd in the production. So what made it challenging in the production?
I don't know. I didn't know what I had to do. It was really a challenge for me.
So the unknown, what the expectation would be towards you. So, and how do you feel now with the challenge?
I feel good right now.
You feel good?
Before you're allowed to say what you think. You can make plans, and it's all kind of like very creative. But then you have to focus and transform it. And I think because we all didn't really know what to do, this was the first big challenge.
A proof of reality. I just not only think about it, I also can do it.
You have to transform it, and the way, the longer you progress, or the more you progress,
the more comfortable you feel.
When we started producing it, we didn't get any instructions. We had to think about everything that we need, and it was really hard to not forget anything. And then I, for example, had to do the car in paint, and I was like, okay, how am I going to do a car in paint? I'm not an artist. Don't draw anything. I mean, it does look like a child drawing, but anyway, I had to do it. But it was fun. It was fun, but challenging.
So right at the beginning, I was a wee bit scared. I was a wee bit anxious. Reasoning, I'm not quite sure. I felt I was kind of going to be in a different role that I haven't been in for a long time. So that was going to be a new territory for me. So it was totally out of my comfort zone in lots of areas. But I've learned a lot about myself.
So for you, I think the most challenging is also the most satisfying. Do you know this about yourself? The most you challenge yourself, the most satisfied you are?
Yeah, in the beginning when you're a bit frustrated that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And when finally you know something, it feels a bit better, you know.
Great, yeah. This has a lot to do with entrepreneurial spirit. To feel where are my satisfaction drivers. Yeah? And if you get to know more about what drives your satisfaction, then you can also learn how to use these drivers in your processes.
The final task: telling each other the impressions and strengths of one another.
Speaking right, thank you. Stay.
Okay, I'm going to write.
So much I want to tell you.
In German, she understands.
Then you have a lot of people write you positive comments on you, on your way, how you are.
Oh, that was supposed to be positive. It's just great to understand that others see this in you, and maybe it encourages you to use those strengths in the future. And I think that also has to do with entrepreneurial thinking, because if you work as an entrepreneur, you really have to use your strength.
Das warst du, oder?
Nein.
Nein? Ach so. Oh.
Oh, wow.
And maybe some of the comments have something to do with the area that you thought you wanted to work on, or that you had questions about, or that you develop further. We almost needed like 1.5 hours for people to say goodbye and to somehow distance themselves from the group. And I think that's always like a good indicator. The longer it takes, the more the people were in the group. Thank you.
This approach is vastly different to what we see in European schools these days, and I think it's very important to take different approaches and to explore different approaches, and I think we are really getting there.
Who would have thought that they would have got so much out of just responding to an email invitation to go to another part of the world? So definitely a positive experience for them, but I think also for all the facilitators and the teachers.
I learned so much because those people were strangers to me, and I got to know them and worked with them, and we tried, even though every one of us had its own ideas, we tried to work towards a certain goal, and with different techniques, and everyone has a different personality. So I think it was a really great learning experience.
To be honest, I'm very surprised, okay, because at the start of it, there was so many different ideas, and I remember after the first day I was like, I don't think this is going to get anywhere at all. There's going to be no prototype at the end of the day. There's going to be nothing, and I'm so surprised that we managed to like get it all together and then actually have a final output for it as well. So, yeah.
You just don't sit there and listen to somebody falling asleep, because that's usually what I do. But when you do something yourself and you get involved in stuff, you really want to get something done, and you want to get something done in a good way, and that sort of helps you to really focus and get it done, and you just learn by doing. I think that's the perfect way to learn.
The fact to work with like people from around Europe, it's kind of good because they don't work the same way as you, and it's always good to have new opportunities and new skills.
Very satisfied.
Yeah. I was surprised that some new people and working with somebody you don't know and having in just one day a prototype of a game, it's really incredible.
There were, I tried to live myself into the whole thing, so it was not just moment, it was just the whole 3 days we were here. I felt like it was just a real company.
So I think there was just a very good balance, and I felt it was really helpful to have someone sitting there helping me, but also the possibility to discover things for myself.
Fantastic.
Good experience.
Yeah, great experience. I've loved every day. I'm really upset that I'm leaving.
It was a wonderful experience for everyone. You know, people had grown so closely together that it took us a full hour to have an ending ceremony, so to say. It also shows us that this approach works in a way of connecting the team members.
Accept it, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Tschüss, gute Heimreise.
There we go.
Auf jeden Fall. Bye.